Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another day of praying through the darkness. So, I have a question for you. Are you a worrier? I mean, not just an occasional, I wonder what the weather's going to be like, or I hope that so and so gets home safely. I mean, a true worrier. I think I fall somewhere kind of in the middle, especially as I've gotten older. I know I worried plenty when my kids were growing up, different stages of their life, especially when they became teenagers, when when they passed their driver's license test. Oh my goodness, did that not bring on a new set of worry? But being worried, especially as parents, that just comes natural, doesn't it? It's kind of almost like in the contract when you become a parent. Now, that's not the kind of worry I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of worry that can just literally stop you in your tracks. And it just consumes every thought, every minute of your waking hours, and possibly even while you're sleeping. But what does it really accomplish? Does it accomplish anything? No, especially in this day and age when we can reach out instantly to someone through the cell phone or, excuse me, um, all the different apps that are on our computers and like Messenger, Zoom, Skype. Don't ask me about others because I don't know. That's about it. But we have instant access just about to anyone when we're really just allowing worry to rob us of peace and joy. So here's a thought. When we're in that state of just constant worry, do you know that that doesn't do anything for our lifespan? It really doesn't. In fact, instead of giving us more time, it's robbing us of time. It's also robbing us of energy, not just physical energy, but emotional and spiritual energy. But we're going to see in chapter 6 of Matthew this morning that Jesus has a solution for us. But before we get to that, let me remind you that my daily devotionals come from this little blue book that's put out by Broad Street Publishers. Now, its title is 365 Days of Prayers for Depression and Anxiety. Now, folks, this isn't just for those of us that have to cope with this every single day, but it's also for anyone that has hit a little bump in the road. You know what I mean? So look at each of these daily devotionals as just reinforcement for each and every one of us that God is not absent. He's there with us through everything so long as we call on Him and allow Him to be there. And in speaking about that, let's see what Jesus has to say in Matthew chapter 6. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And that's verse 27 of Matthew chapter 6. Now, many of you know, if you've studied Matthew chapter 6, that it starts out with the Sermon on the Mount, in which Jesus offers so many ways in which God can bless every single one of us. And one of those is being blessed for not worrying. It truly is. And it says so right there in verse 27. Now, I want you to think about the fact, can worry truly add anything to our life? No, in fact, what it does is it takes away. It's futile to worry. God, Jesus here in this particular chapter, if you go on to study it, uses a really good example. He says that really worrying is all about us trying to take control of an uncertain future. But in trying to make a plan, in trying to work out all these different scenarios, you know what we're doing? We're robbing ourselves not only of time, but we're robbing ourselves of so many other little joys that we could be concentrating on just right out here, even possibly right in arm's reach. Worry is not something that we should take on. We are to give that to God because, quite frankly, we can't do anything about it. Truly, we can't. So instead of focusing on worrying on uncertainties, we need to concentrate on what we know for certain right now. This verse honestly causes us to shift our focus. What it wants us to do is that instead of worrying about what might happen, especially since we have no control over it, we should concentrate on, like I said, what's going on right here and now and trust that God is in control, that He's going to take care of it. And one example that Jesus uses to illustrate how futile it is to worry over things we have no control, and I know many of you have heard this, he took the opportunity looking at nature around him with everyone that was there and said, look at those birds up there in the sky. Take a moment and look at the lilies, the flowers that are all around us. Do you know that they don't have a worry in the world? Because they know that God cares for them and that He's going to provide for them. And something else that he put in that verse was, the birds, the plants, they don't toil. In other words, they don't work for anything because God provides all that they need. And that's the same way it is with us. Worrying produces nothing. It truly doesn't. But think about what trusting in God produces for us. Joy, the assurance of being loved, comfort, mercy, and grace. That's what God offers to us in the place of worrying on things we have no control over. This is not just a verse to call us to trust in God's perfection, in His love, in everything that He can do for us. But if you stop and think about it just a moment, it calls us to take a moment and look to see where is our faith with God. How much do we truly trust for Him to take care of us? Now, if that doesn't knock the socks off, I don't know what would. I mean, stop and think about it. Do I put a limit on what God can do? Because if I'm worrying about something I have no control over, rather than giving it to God and letting Him take control, isn't that putting a limit on what He can do for me? Wow. I mean, that for me this morning in looking this over was a very humbling and sad thought about what I think of my God. I don't know about you, but when I worry, when I try to take control of something that I cannot control, if I don't give that to God, then I am basically saying to myself, why worry Him? He might not can do anything either. that is a knock to my faith in how powerful my God is. And that, folks, really humbled me this morning. It made me so ashamed to think that no matter how much I worry over something, no matter how little the worry may be, such as worrying about, do I need to take my umbrella with me or can I leave it here? I mean, y'all might think that's silly, but stop and think about it for just a moment. Should I worry about that? No. Now, I may still get wet, but that's okay. But that's not something I need to worry over. And I really don't need to worry over when my hubby doesn't call me at the normal times that he does during the day. I shouldn't let my mind go to those really bad places of, well, he hasn't called me. I wonder if he's been, did he drive off the side of the road, hit a fence post, and he's in dire straits and nobody's found him yet? Or do I need to worry about that my kids haven't called me at a certain time, which I used to do whenever they were traveling, and I still do, but anyway. But you see what I'm saying? When we take on worry, it robs us of peace. Those worries that we find to be so life gripping, we need to take them to God. And I even need to take to God today, do I need to worry about the weather? Honestly, God doesn't care. God wants to take on everything that robs us of joy, everything that we really have no control over. So think about that today. Think about if you are spending so much time on something you have no control over. Stop and think just a moment. Where can I better spend my energy? Lord, I am giving this to you right now because I know that there's nothing I can do. So, Lord, it's now yours, and I am going to enjoy what you have for me right here in this presence, in this moment. When life gets overwhelming, God, my mind runs away with all the possibilities of what could happen. When I don't know how something will turn out, it can be second nature for me to worry about it. What was I telling you? As you said in your word, worry doesn't add a single hour to my life. You are all-seeing and all-knowing. It is not wishful thinking to trust you to guide me through every hill and valley. So when confusion clouds my understanding, you are completely confident. I lean on you and your wisdom today because you won't let me down. Great God, I am so grateful that you are not confused by anything. I remind myself that you are above it all. I trust you today, and I align myself with your truth and your wisdom. I'm leaning on you. When I am tempted to worry, I will turn that energy towards trusting you. I hope that you've enjoyed today's devotional, and I do hope that you'll take just a moment throughout your day to think about when you're going to start worrying. Oh, wait. God, this is nothing I'm going to be able to control. So I'm handing it over to you so that I can move on to something else that's much more productive. Even if it is just sitting here, being still, and listening for your voice. Thank you again so much for being here. Please don't forget to hit that like button down there in the bottom. Also, leave me a comment. I have thoroughly enjoyed so many of your own reflections on these words every single day. So please be sure and share them with me and others that stop by to read as well. Because you never know, you might get someone else to thinking as well. Remember that when the doubts When the darkness wants to crowd in and rob you of your energy and your joy, you're not alone. God is waiting right there for you to reach out, to call to Him, because He wants nothing but love and comfort for you today. And remember, too, I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.